Welcome everyone, and thanks for joining us today for this webinar. I'm Francesca and I'm the Eco Schools Project Officer at Keep Northern Ireland Beautiful, and I'm also the Young Reporters for the Environment National Operator for Northern Ireland. So today is not a chance that we are running this webinar about Young Reporters for the Environment during the Youth 2030 One World Week, part of the Global Youth Work for Sustainable Development here in Ireland. And also it's the European Week for Waste Reduction. So here in Northern Ireland, YRE is part of the Wrigley Litter Less Campaign. So this webinar will explore the many opportunities that becoming a young reporter for the environment can offer to our young people to empower them and also to take action to protect the environment. Before we start, I would like to say a huge thank you to our speakers today who have kindly accepted to be part of this journey and this webinar. So they will share their experience and their knowledge with you. Margarida is the Environmental Education and Education for Sustainability Project Manager in Portugal. And she has been also one of the pioneers, one of the first people believing in the YRE program when she started in 1996. Then we will also listen to 5 YRE ambassadors. We will have Barbara and Victor, 2 YRE coordinators in their schools. And also 3 YRE alumni, Filippa, Josh, and Max. They will help us to understand more why once you become a YRE, then you stay a YRE forever. So I will give you a short overview of the program. So for those of you who are not familiar with it or are new to it, then it will be easier to get a grasp of what this chat will be about and what the YRE program is and how can many opportunities be offered to young people. So YRE is an international platform for young people where they can share ideas and knowledge about environmental issues they strongly care about. And at the same time, offer solutions to these problems. So they can share actually their ideas about that. And they can promote basically what is called constructive journalism or positive journalism. Also, YRE offers the opportunity, to meet young reporters, peer young reporters, and this will broaden the perception of local issues at more global scales. So this will increase then critical thinking and problem-solving skills in young people, pushing them to become motivators for positive changes. We can all protect the environment in different ways, from volunteering, for example, for conservation projects in the field to increase awareness, like in the case of this program. We need to think that the power of words and the power of images is really, really strong. To protect our environment and our community at once, we can take this power. And also the opportunity through YRE is starting a career in journalism or thinking about a career in journalism. And I guess Filippa will give us more insights about that. And we need to be aware of the fact that this will help us developing new communication skills and understanding more about environmental issues. And at the same time, we want our young reporters to have fun and enjoy while they are thinking about a career in journalism. So that's why we invite them to be as much as they can creative when they are working on a YRE project, through videos, through photographs, articles, vlogs, blogs, podcasts, and so on. So there is no limit actually to the way news can be shared nowadays. Now, how would you prepare then a successful entry and how could you nail it? if you are a teacher, if you are an educator, then think about any subject in your school or university that could perfectly match the YRE program. Now, becoming an effective communicator is essential, for example, for journalism and media communication subjects. So if you know any teacher in your school who is teaching these subjects, then invite them to get on board to be part of this program. We can think also about the fact that present facts are very often a consequence of past episodes. So history can be a great help when telling a story. And also, how can this story be told? Through the power of images, which is really, really strong. So just think about dictatorships. One of the first ministries always to appear is the propaganda one. Why is that? Because of the strong power of images. When we tell a story then and we want to write about environmental issues, then we really cannot exclude also the role of governments and communities in policy making. So any subject that is called government and politics or citizenship, any other way you want to call these subjects, then are essential, and they can be part of the YRE program. At the same time, as a teacher or educator, you can invite your students who are maybe taking on these subjects then to prepare their courseworks related to the YRE project. There is another important part of the YRE. It is structured in a way that you really cannot go wrong. There are 4 simple steps: investigation, researching for solution, reporting, and dissemination. Now, dissemination is essential. There are no news without dissemination. If we want to make people aware of an environmental issue, then we need to spread the voice. And this voice can be heard through different platforms, and one of these platforms is YRE. I will now show you a short video that has been prepared for the national YRE competition, but is actually a guideline with steps for a successful entry.
Estavam no grupo de US.
Well, as you can see, this has been prepared, as I said, for the national competition here in Northern Ireland. So that's why you see my email address there, and the deadline is the deadline for the national competition. But I really would like to encourage all of you, if there are people from other countries today, to get in touch with your national operators in your country to get more details, support, any information about the national and international deadlines for the competition, but also how to go over the program and understand more the program. Before I hand it over to Barbara, which will be our first speaker today, I'd like to highlight that we are running this webinar, as I said at the beginning, during the European Week for Waste Reduction, since the YRE program in Northern Ireland is part of the Litter Less Campaign. The Litter Less Campaign is the longest running anti-litter campaign for schools and young people. With the support of Mars Wrigley Foundation since 2011, more than 30 countries are now part of this big network that encourages and endorses positive behavior changes among the global youth and beyond. Indeed, every year there are many community action days. Maybe this year will be really hard and difficult to organize these action days. And they are part of the campaign where everyone, young and less young, is called to play an important role to promote positive behavior change and opinion leadership to protect our environment. And now I will stop sharing my my screen and I will pass it over to Barbara, who is gonna give us the teacher perspective of being involved in Young Reporters for the Environment. Over to you, Barbara.
Hi there. I hope you can hear me.
Yes,
Francesca.
we can. Yes.
Right. Okay. I'll try to make sure that I don't take or tell everything because Josh and Max are going to be following me. So I'll try and be brief about what I was going to talk about. So yes, I'm a teacher at Wallace High School and we've been involved with the YRE program since about 2017. And I'm going to give just a quick resume of what we have actually done and then how it's integrated into the curriculum. So as I said, 2017 and 18 was our first entry into the competition with food waste, and we had preparation time beforehand. So we attended some workshops and that was involving 6 pupils at Key Stage 3. So that's sort of 11 to 14, where they developed many group work skills, interview techniques, photographic skills. And that, in fact, has influenced some of their choices at GCSE. So Thomas there at the back has chosen journalism as one of his subjects. So this led to Josh and Max creating an amazing food waste video, which was shown to the school in several of the assemblies. And then we got down to Kilkeel for our presentations. But what was really heartening was that some of the older pupils, here's Owen, he also took part in the competition. So it appeals to students of all age groups. On the back of this, the boys went down to Dublin and we took part in the Global Goals conference. And it's at this point that I'd really like to acknowledge the support that the boys have had from family and friends. And it's been really, really encouraging for them. And then we took part in another webinar as well. So one thing leads on to another, participating with YRE. And then the following year for 2018-19 was the single-use plastics. Again, winners for the boys. But again, meeting other students from other schools is really good because you can share ideas and you know what other schools are doing and you can maybe sort of borrow some of their ideas. And then there's Thomas, another winner. So again, this led on to the opportunity to attend a conference down in Dublin, an ocean summit. So we had 2 new Eco warriors, Sienna and Ellen, and that was another amazing opportunity for us to find out more practical strategies that we could use in school. And it was really on the back of their enthusiasm and of Josh and Max that we set up an Eco Club, which started last September. And we were focusing on recycling plastic bottles. So each classroom had a bin that was dedicated to the plastic bottles, because we were really concerned what's happening with our rubbish. Everything just seemed to go into the same bin. But then we discovered from the head of maintenance, Colin, that actually there was a company that came and separated up all our rubbish. But we made it our point to collect the plastic bottles in these clear bags. We sort of had a rota that went on a daily and a weekly basis. And we brought them out to the bins here. And then we were able to have representatives from the local council area explaining what is happening at a council level. Now, unfortunately, things have had to be put on hold with the Eco Club, just with current situations with COVID. But hopefully when things re-establish themselves, we can start the plastic bags again. I'm a geography teacher, so YRE program just fits in really nicely with geographical issues. And the boys, as well as all of the other members of the Geo Club, have really been inspired by their primary schools, and that's helped us at Key Stage 3. So there's sections here where we have to look at environmental issues, and the work of YRE just fits in so nicely, and the resources that they have we can use for 11 to 14-year-old students. So you can see here, I've just highlighted some of the areas that YRE program fits in with. Again, the issue of sustainability, but there's no point in just teaching the students. It's very important that other people are informed. So the boys volunteered at Open Day, and that's when we can tell other primary school students what we are doing. We can share with our prep department. We had assemblies for main assemblies, for the prep assemblies. We shared things on our own Twitter account, and emails are sent on a regular basis to the students and the staff, informing them of programs and schemes coming up. During the summer term, after the summer exams, our junior schools takes part in passion-based learning. And this is their opportunity to be creative themselves and to do some of their own research. And we try to encourage them to do an environmental issue. So trying to think of a topic that we haven't studied on a normal day-to-day basis in geography. So single-use plastics was a big focus last year. Pupils trying to make features out of the plastics. You can see here some examples. I'm not quite sure what they're really showing. We have wall displays, again, informing people of single-use plastics. So really at Key Stage 3, geography and the YRE program go really hand in hand. Obviously, when we get to GCSE geography, we're really restricted by the specification, but we do study the environment. You can see here at the greenhouse effect, carbon footprint, the waste. So anytime we are out and about, we can share this information, inform the students, making all these activities really fun and informative. So competitions, the opportunity that we give our students is fast. Obviously YRE is one such competition, but we've also had students participating for quite a while with the local council, with the Environmental Youth Speak. There's Thomas in the back there, but you know, he's developed so much confidence throughout the years. And then we've had other students who maybe haven't always been at the Eco Club, but they're again still involved in environmental projects, and other competitions can be entered into as well. Obviously participating in environmental issues is important, and YRE does facilitate that. But with recent strikes, environmental strikes, we've seen our older students coming out onto the streets whenever that was in the news, and that was really inspiring, because then they could spread the word throughout the whole of the school. So really, the YRE sort of assists us in definitely our teaching. It definitely assists us in promoting environmental issues. It's enabled Josh and Max and other students to take part in competitions. Obviously, there's still so much more that we could do as a school. It's, I suppose, baby steps, and as teachers, there's always time restraints on us, with wearing other hats as well. But we'd like to think that we've started on the road, Francesca. There's still a lot for us still to do, but
yes,
everything baby steps.
Yeah, I totally agree. And thank you, Barbara, was very thorough, even if you had only 5 minutes.
That's okay.
You really hit the point, and hopefully our audience also agrees with me.
Okay.
And now I will pass it over to Josh and Max. And then just to remind you that at the end of each speaker talk, then we will have hopefully 10 minutes for questions and answers. So over to you, Josh and Max now. Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks, Francesca, for inviting me to take part in today's webinar. I've really enjoyed listening so far. It's been brilliant. My name is Max Camalaraja. I'm 14 years old and I'm a pupil at the Wallace High School, Lisburn in Northern Ireland. I can't believe that 3 years ago, I had never even heard about YRE. My YRE journey actually started in 2017 when an email sent by Miss McKee about the competition popped up in my inbox. To be honest, it initially grabbed my attention because I'm a bit of a sucker for a good competition. And Eco Schools had included a BBC workshop on journalistic techniques. And well, I guess I envisioned myself as the next David Attenborough. My brother and I have been vocal about the environment since we were knee-high. We were founding members of our primary school eco committee and had even wielded our lightsabers all the way to the final of the Northern Ireland Environmental You Speak competition. When we heard about YRE, we were so excited. It gave us an opportunity to speak out about a topic we were really passionate about, whilst getting to unleash our creative skills on an unsuspecting global audience. The first year we entered, we had great fun making a food waste crime report video. We still enjoy watching our bloopers, which in the interest of politeness can't be shared. I even risked being arrested by walking around my local supermarket in a pink wig and a trench coat, all in the name of art, of course. However, on a serious note, there is no doubt that we had our eyes opened by our own research on the topic, and we were made painfully aware of our own terrible food wastage habits. It really shocked us and fired us up to challenge ourselves and our family to make some big changes in our own lives. Winning the Litter Less competition nationally and internationally was unreal. I lost count of the number of times I scrolled down through all the fantastic entries on the YRE exposure page. What was so amazing was the realization that there were young people all over the world who shared our passion. It felt as though we were part of a global family who all wanted to promote environmental change. My weak 14-year-old voice somehow felt stronger and more valid, which was so inspiring and confidence boosting. The following year, I allowed myself to be buried alive in plastic for a winning entry in the Litter Less photo competition. I think I'm becoming a bit of a martyr for the cause. Who knows? Next year I might be swimming with sharks or toasting marshmallows over an active volcano.
I'm Josh, I'm Max's brother and I'm 16 years old. As Max has already mentioned, winning the YRE competition was a life-changing experience for us. It's been a catalyst and that has fired up our passion on environmental issues. The skills we've acquired have opened so many doors for us. We've progressed from filming in our hall against a wrinkly green sheet to setting up a proper film set in our garage, and have even made other films, including a history film on the World War I trenches, which won us a National History Award. Winning YRE has given me so much more self-belief and inspired me to create an EcoChat app, which actually won me a prize at a summer coding camp, which also made me realize that young people actually are really interested in the environment and actually want to talk about it. On the back of our YRE win, Max and I were also invited to go to speak at the Green Schools Global Goals Conference in Croke Park in Dublin, which was a nerve-wracking experience, but also very fantastic. We even got a few seconds of fame on RTE News. Through Eco Schools, we've been invited to attend workshops where we've met many like-minded people and expanded our knowledge on climate change, pollution, and litter, as well as brainstorming solutions together, which was very empowering for us. Last year, we were meant to help run a workshop at an Eco Schools NI Youth Summit, which unfortunately was cancelled due to coronavirus, but it'll hopefully be relaunched at a future date. There's no doubt that we've been incredibly lucky in having been involved in YRE. It does come with a lot of responsibility though. I'm very aware that we're seen as role models in our school, as well as by our friends and relatives. And it has definitely made me take greater care to set a good example, like not forgetting my reusable water bottle or not using plastic bags. And of course, not leaving my crusts at lunch. I would really encourage any young people out there who feel deeply about the environment, or who just want to learn more about it, or even gain some skills as a journalist, just for those people to take that leap and enter the competition. You've nothing to lose and everything to gain. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Josh and Max. That was fantastic. I really love it and very entertaining as usual. So I will ask now Margarida to start her presentation, sharing the screen with us. And if you can unmute also yourself, Margarida, I think you're still mute.
Yes, I think it's okay now.
Yes, perfect.
You see the screen? Okay. So first of all, thank you for this invitation. It's a pleasure for me to talk about YRE. It's we shouldn't say that, but as we don't say for children, but actually it's my favorite program forever, because I was working with it as a teacher. I was also a geography teacher, and now I'm coordinating it for more or less 20 years. So it's a lot of been done. We only want to share a little bit with you. I'm sorry for my English. I'm especially speaking to English speakers, but I'll try to do my best. Okay, so we are NGO. We also work at the programs of FEE, like Eco Schools, Blue Flag, Young Reporters, and Green Key, and others. Some things I have here, I will go really quick because Francesca already told about. But I would maybe begin with this film. I'd like to show you. We did in the 2017, and you can see a little bit of our YRE. The first one is the oldest one.
Hello.
Well, hello. My name is Ricardo.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. Hi.
Hello and namaskar.
I'm Pedro.
My name is José Chen.
My name is Sari Cascais.
And as you can see, I'm a young reporter for the environment.
Well, I found this community to be a really interesting platform for me because there are lots of people having common interests.
Being a young reporter for the environment allowed me to get a lot of knowledge. And this is the kind of knowledge we don't get from the books. It's the one we get from experience and by doing things.
I have been connected to the YRE since 2011 when a teacher of mine introduced it to my class. Since then, I have participated in several missions, seminars and contests.
I traveled my first time alone to Sweden to study the CO2 levels from that area, Uppsala, from the swamps to the trees. I've engaged with scientists from Denmark, Japan. It was 95. We didn't realize what's happened to the CO2 and other countries. And we understand how it was important to go to the field, acquire the information, and spread around in our newspaper and internet.
The YRE program makes you explore the nature around you and gives you the opportunity to transmit that information in order to reach other people and inspire them.
Raising awareness. It means we need to spread a message of hope and change when we are talking about the environment.
For me, participating in Young Reporters for the Environment is knowing how to act instead of just watching.
And also the positive actions and projects that are developed to preserve nature. Creating awareness is only the first step to change minds and attitudes, even in our daily lives.
Nowadays, I can say I consider myself a well-informed person regarding the environmental problems we are facing today.
And nowadays, I've grown to be a conservation biologist, and for the last, let's say, 13 years, I've been working with endangered species. Nowadays, I am doing my PhD with bats in the Amazon, and in the meantime, I work in Madagascar, Kenya, and in my home city in Madeira, as you can see from my lovely hat, where I lecture at the Madeira University, and I lecture conservation, which is directly in line of what I've done as a young reporter for the environment.
As we say in Portugal, once an YRE, always an YRE.
Well, yeah, that's it.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed our YRE students. I'm not going to talk about this. Francisco already did. The YRE program has a methodology. We call it 4 steps. But what's important is to find facts, seek various points of view and opinions, propose solutions, reporting them, and of course, communicate and disseminate your work. What does a young reporter? This is a quote from a Portuguese journalist that was with us for many times. Now is not anymore, but he said that a reporter should see and make it visible, or make the others see, listen and making heard, feel and make feel, understand and make understood. So it should live and make live. So he's someone between the reality and people that listen or see what it or read what it is. In Portugal, the focus was never a thematic area. We had already Litter Less too. So in that year, we did a lot about waste, but any theme can be a theme for YRE. Actually, what is important is the focus, and the focus is on sustainability. So it can be water, climate change, waste, and so on and so on. Then the work should be different types, and this is very important to be clear. Reportage is something that express the reality, different angles. The journalist is neutral, and it can express in article, photo, video, or podcast. That's a new way we have in Portugal this year. But campaign, as we saw in the previous presentation, very interesting way of communicating too, but it's different of a reporter. It's something done with an intention, so it passes a message. So a young reporter, if you are a reporter, you are neutral, you are the eyes of the reality for ones who can read or see you. Some numbers, this you know, we are in 42 countries worldwide. In Portugal, we had last year 213 works coming from schools and 53 freelancers. What's a freelancer? Sometimes the students begin with their teachers, and then they change school, and then they want to be in the project, and they become freelancers. So they work directly with us, and but normally only after 15 years old. The themes that the Portuguese like to investigate are quite various, as you can see. So maybe cities was the one that was most worked last year, but they also express in different types, like articles, photos, and so. In the last week we had a virtual week, and our president, that you can see here, he talked a little bit.
Nós costumam dizer internacionalmente, dizem que o J.
Sorry, I don't know what happened. We prepared this because it was quite inspiring.
YRE, que é uma voz pelo ambiente.
The translation is not going, so I will go on.
Mais, eu diria que o YRE.
He was saying that young reporters is not only the voice of the environment, is also the voice, the eyes, and the hands for the environment. That's why I wanted you to listen, but it was not the subtitle, so you couldn't understand. So talking about some activities we do here, the beginning of the year, normally in November, not beginning, but almost, we do the national seminar. That's the most important meeting of all national YREs. It's about 2.5 days of seminar. The participants are students and teachers, mainly students. Normally each teacher brings 3 or 4 students, and it's of course to encourage communication, sharing, and change experience. During these days we have presentations, workshops, fieldwork, debates. It's a 3 days program where we also recognize the awarded schools or the awarded works from last year. We know the place where we are. We go outside to understand. So we do field work we report, we make interviews, photos, video, and then they work together, teachers with teachers, students with students, and they together they begin to understand the methodology and how to communicate in a journalistic way. Another thing we do in these meetings is to try to bring someone from the FI network to our meeting. So we interviewed already Philippe Sougier, he was the YRE creator, he was the person who invented this program. And also here is a YRE alumni from Canada, is very known from the network. Vinley was also in one of our seminars, and we also ran a photo contest during the seminar. It means that all the photos at the end, we choose the best, and at the third day we give some special rewards. During the lockdown, we had to adapt. So we try to keep on to motivate schools and the freelancers to go on. We had a meeting every week between March and May. It was the idea was let's chat, let's talk all together, not in presentations, not at the beginning was quite spontaneous. It was only to know about each other. Then every week we bring another team. So you have here like biodiversity and COVID and gaslighting. We invited also someone from Brazil to the meeting and so on. And also a way to, because of this pandemic problem, this week we didn't have seminar, this year, so we had a week of different sessions that just happened last year, where we recognized the awarding. We had our ambassadors, we had workshops about journalism and writing with the journalists from a newspaper, workshop about photo and video with the specialists, and workshop of podcast. So our seminar this year was like that, 4 days online.
Sorry to interrupt you. No,
yes?
Just the volume of the videos is quite loud, it's very high. So in case, it was very hard to hear you talking. Just
okay. I really can't do nothing at the moment, but I will try to not speak during the video. Okay, so other activities that the students normally never forget, it's the things they like more, is what we call missions. What is a mission? A mission is a moment that can take 3 days, 5 days, 6 days, depends, where the young reporter goes as a special envoyé. It means that he goes alone, not with their teachers, not with their friends. He goes alone, he meets people he never met before, normally from different parts of the country, and some from our international network too. And during these days, he has to investigate, do interviews, visits, photos, working group, produce reportage, and at the end prepare a press conference where they talk about what they learned and about their reportage. We do different type of missions. These types, it's depending on the year, depending on the number of days. So we do missions in natural parks in rural areas. That's the one most important, I think, because it's about 5-6 days, and they learn a lot during these missions. Then we also make a mission in a music festival. We have a partnership. We might also make in zoo, the zoological garden. Also, we have a partnership, and every 2 years we go there with young reporters for 3 days. Also in conference events and so on, and of course international missions. I will show you some pictures. This is a mission in a natural park at the south of Portugal, near Alentejo, near Algarve. This is one in Alentejo too. It was in Nodar, Barrancos. This is a mission in the rural area called Lausanne. This is another one in the Alentejo. here we have a mission that occurred in Goiás last, I think 3 years ago. And this was our last mission because in 2020, as you know, we couldn't do it. We had already 2 prepared, but they are still waiting. And it was in Coruche about Quark mission also with international students. And the partnership with the music festival, it's Rock in Rio. So we were already in all 5 times in this festival doing this mission. We don't know which next. It should be 2020 and maybe 2021 or 2022 as COVID wants. These are some picture of this mission in that music festival. They sleep in an eco school that is nearby. That we go every day to the place to interview people, musicians, stands, and so on. And of course, they enjoy music too. The missions in zoo, we also did already 4 of them. We are preparing one for 2021. If it's possible, maybe in March, we can already do it, I don't know. But what they try to see is the other side of the zoological garden, because it's a garden that it's connected with this association and they have many projects of conservation, but of course it's a zoological garden, it's also bad things in it. So some pictures. Other missions, this was an international one, Litter Less mission in Cyprus some years ago. I think Victor, that is here, also was there. This one we organized also a Litter Less mission in Portugal with all this group that come to Litter Less. In other missions in COPs, we send already many our young reporters to COPs. You can see here some of them. We organized a mission of young ESD leaders in Portugal too. They went also to Paris, and this was already this year already online. Another kind of missions is in events. When we do our Eco School seminar or other events, we invite a small group. In these events, it's only 4, 5, 6 maximum students to cover the event. So normally they are already trained and they are quite, they can do things alone. We don't need to be with them. So for these kind of missions, they are like journalists reporting what's happening. Here is an event, Green Fest, that happens in Portugal every year. They call it the biggest event on sustainability. This is during Mobility Week in another place. Also, they're interviewing everybody. Here is a mission during the opening of Lisbon European Green Capital, that it was this year before Corona. International collaboration. We also have many schools that are interested in international collaboration, and we try to motivate them to register if they are interested. Then do YRE International matches the schools, and we try to create strategies to motivate the collaboration. So like WhatsApp groups and or emails. But that's a kind of thing that it's between the schools. We only try to motivate them and encourage and be there. So we had many schools asking for that. This year we have 21 schools that want collaboration. So if you are listening and you want to collaborate with a Portuguese school, just tell us. And in the collaboration, of course, it's important to know a little bit, or we recommend that the collaboration uses these phases, know a little bit about the country, about the school, about the people that are there, find a common theme and a common investigation methodology, like interviews, surveys, and so on. Cooperate, group work, and decide what are you going to do, an article, a photo, a report, a video, then communicate, and of course, disseminate, and then you can submit the collaboration to international award. We had in last year 8 submissions, collaboration with other students. This year we had 6, 7, it's 6. The last activity I'm going to talk to you about is our YRE Ambassador. It's quite new initiative. Actually, it's our alumni students that spontaneously they offer them to go to other schools to talk to their colleagues about the program, to explain about their experience. So we now are motivating the schools that are beginning to ask for an ambassador. That you can go there to the school or just do a session online, and I think it's very motivating. We have here some of them that I want to present you. Also some teacher ambassadors. You just saw one. That's Filipa. That's going to talk to you later. That's Joanna, that went to many international missions, and so on. Challenge competitions and awards. Of course, we have many. I just going very quick through it. We have a YRE of the month. So every month we give an award to the best submission. It's some from last year. We have our national competition. We had more than 200 submissions and awarded 33 works, reportage. We have our national award. We also participate in challenge like this that was from international coordination. We had some awards too. International competition, of course, every year we go to international competition. We have more. We have 9+4 entries and 4 awarded. And international collaboration, we had this work awarded together with Montenegro this year. And I'm just finishing, just telling you that we have a press where every young reporter uploads their works. It's a web page only for reportage. Then we have a web page in our website talking about the program, news, activities, and so on. Of course, we are in Facebook. Of course, we are in Instagram. And thank you for listening and our support. I'm just leaving you with our invitee, Filipa. It's someone she.
When you are a young reporter for the environment, you're not afraid of adventures. You try to accept challenges. You like to investigate and report on the ground, listening to people. You look at the world in another way. What you eat and what you drink begins to taste differently, as with your actions. It's like carrying every day a backpack full of notes, memories, and shares. My name is Filipa, and as a young reporter for the environment, I have conscience and respect for nature through the missions, seminars, and competitions in which I participated. I studied journalism, and I'm very thankful to continue to learn so much from the program. Well, it's already 25 years. Once here, forever here.
Okay, so that's all.
Thank you very much, Margarida. That was really good. And we should actually organize a webinar just about missions and seminars to go more into details about this, because are fantastic opportunities anyway for our young people. Now I'd like to ask Victor, one of the YRE ambassadors, teachers of Portugal,
yes,
to give us a bit of an overview of his experience as YRE coordinator. And then last but not least is Filipa, that you have seen already in a video. Over to you, Victor.
Okay. Okay, it's my turn now. I hope you can understand my English. I'm not so good for the English, but I think it's okay. Okay, first of all, I start my presentation talking about me. For me, it's very important this point, because you have a Victor before YRE and you have a Victor after YRE. Because with the YRE, I learned so many things. I work so many things with my students, with my colleagues also, and this amazing experience. This draw, for example, is for my students. Of course, I'm a math teacher and also a science teacher and an ICT teacher, but my students draw me with the YRE sweatshirt. And for me, it's amazing because my students see me was a YRE teacher. It's so good, so nice to be a YRE teacher. And why I love this experience? Because this experience makes to understand the world where we live, and it's very important for the teacher because it's connected with my lessons and curriculum, and it's nice to take some mathematics subject and cross with the environment issue. It's very good and very nice and very scientific way to listen and to understand some curriculum matters. Okay. And in this picture, for me, this picture is very special. I think it is from 2012. And this is my first good experience with my students, because my students, especially Bruno, it's special students, but he's not the better students of my class. But he works so lot of, and he bring me so many pictures and so many things, and it's very involved with the YRE program. And 2 years ago, I meet again, and the first thing he's tell me is, teacher, do you remember about my picture? Oh, so good, so amazing experience. Thank you. And for me, this is the best of this experience. Can work with some students, and some students tell me, thank you so much for listening to me, for working with me. And of course, the price is amazing, but I think it's more than price. This picture is very special for me, because this is my third school with the YRE program. I start in this school, my first times in 2011. I tried the first time, but the first time is not so good, because I'm not a language teacher. I'm mathematics and science, and in the first years, I can't use my subject to help my students. And in the second year, I try to ask some teacher, can help me to write an article? And I have some help, it's okay. Second year is okay. The third year, I try to change a little bit. I try to take some pictures and videos, and it's worked. And Bruno is the proof of this. When I start to work with photos, it's better for the students for start YRE experience. After the photos, we can try to write something. It's okay. But first experience, the photo and the video is more attractive for them. Okay. And I try to use YRE program in the school for many ways, but I try to be the partner of other projects. For example, here in the eco school, we have some cleaning river at our local environment. And we made some measurement, some view, we take some pictures, and after this we wrote an article, and we won the national competition in this article. It's amazing, it's very good. And after this we submit them the article in the YRE competition. It's a very good program to try to work with another's programs. I think it's very good, because we can communicate something. And of course, for me, YRE need to be present everywhere in our town, our city, and for example, in the strike for the climate, our team are in the strike, and we have been interviewed by the TV. It's a nice experience for them, and in this year I work with more or less 50 students, 2 classes, and with some special students with special needs. For example, 3 girls are special students, but with special capacity. And we work a lot of different way, because sometimes these kids are very special. And we make a lovely job, especially with Lara. Lara is the blonde girl. We made a fantastic work. And to make this work, we need to be present. It's very important to be present close to our students. And for the students, please ask to the teacher, be present. It's very important. Okay, Jos and Max. Okay, you need to ask some help to teacher sometimes. And we have a blog. In the blog, I put some articles, some things to share with my students. We have a classroom for working more close, and I try to involve in this process. But we need to give them some space. The students need to learn sometimes alone. It's very important also. For the internal collaboration, in this year we can submit 4 work. Amazing job, very stimulating. For this work, I try to use the collaborative tools with the students. For example, in this case, we have Google Docs, and with Google Docs, the students start the work, and I can to help them to finish, to correct some part of the work. It's very good tools. For the picture, we used Google Photos. It's a lovely tool also to share the picture. The students can be in the weekend and take some picture and share with me in the weekends. It's very, very nice. And with the students and our national agency, we used the WhatsApp. It's a very useful tool. And with the coordinators, in this case, with our Bosnia coordinators and me, we talk and we chat a little bit about with the emails. It's very useful also. For me, it's very important to make our YRE specials. Of course, the monthly prices is very nice for our students. It's give them something good, a good vibe, and they can work a little bit more. And seminars for me is it's amazing opportunity to share, to try to get some extra energy for a new year, and we can meet another YRE teachers and another YRE students, and this amazing experience. For our students, I think the best of the best is the mission, because the mission are the more emotional activities, perhaps the most emotional moments of all the program, because they can spend some days out of home with another students, making something great, something new, share some activities, sometimes in the concert music, another times in another country, for example, here in Cyprus, and in the Rock in Rio concert. It's amazing experience for our students, perhaps the best. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy. Okay.
Thank you, Victor. That was very, very interesting. And I really like when you were talking about also special needs schools, because this year we are in a sort of trial with YRE students from this school. So maybe we will get in touch with you.
Okay.
Yeah. And now over to Filippa, because I'm conscious of time. So thanks, Filippa.
No problem. Okay, thank you first of all, Margarida, for all the presentation and the videos. That helps me now to present myself. I will share now. Okay, I will share my screen. Exactly. Just a little moment. Okay, now you are seeing, right?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So my name is Filippa. I'm 23 years old. I'm finishing at this moment the last year of the master's degree in journalism at the Superior School of Social Communication in Lisbon. My first contact with YRE was in 2012 in my college. So I was a little a little young girl. But my teacher showed me the Eco Reporter project. So I became a little YRE student. So I did some videos at my school. I interview some teachers, my colleagues about the energy problems and energy stuffs, the way that my school organize her energy. And then my teacher again showed me on the class a project, the missions that YRE did. So I started in Rock in Rio, as you can see. This for me is the most incredible experience because you have a lot of things to do. You have to wake up early, you have to write, you have to interview, you have to work in group. And this is really a fantastic experience that I think each student should try. Then with Joana Pedro, we are invited to go to Marrakech in Morocco to the United Conference on Climate Change in Morocco in 2016. So what we did here, this is me and Joana again. We did again interviews, for example, for NGOs, Portuguese NGOs like Quercus. We interviewed Zero, another NGO. We did a lot of reports, a lot of photo reports, videos too, like two journalists, that are that are promoting the event, and that shows to the world what is happening. And so this were, I think, for what I remember, was like 4 or 5 days in Morocco doing all this work. And I can speak for Joana. It was really, really a fantastic opportunity, and my first opportunity, out my country. Okay, here, as Margarida said in her presentation, I was doing a trainee for my university at Madeira, one of our wonderful islands in Portugal. And what happening here? I was invited to speak as ambassador on a primary and secondary school. So I have a lot of students there, and I speak for them, and I show, as you can see behind me on the photo, all the things the project do. And in the final, I remember that I have a lot of students that wants to know more things about it. But the problem here is the distance, because the opportunities are less, really because of the distance to to Lisbon and where the project stays. Okay, here I have again another biggest opportunity that I have to say thank you because I be part of the jury member, of international jury member of the works of, you know, a lot of students and a lot of schools. So I remember that my first impact, this is in 2019, in last year. And I remember that my first impact was, oh my God, I have a lot of responsibility. What I analyze, what I see, it's a lot of responsibility, because I will, you know, I have the responsibility to give a prize, to say you are the winner, to say you will be the second winner. And as I study journalism, I always have the, you know, that perspective to show to see the structure of the articles, to see the way that the students write the articles, how they investigate, how many interviews they did, anything you can imagine. We on these meetings, we analyze a lot, and sometimes it's hard to us to say this will be the second, this will not win. It's really complicated, but it's really fantastic. Okay, in the next photo, you have again our meeting, international jury members. What happened here? This was in this year. Because of COVID-19, we don't have the opportunity to go to Denmark, as in the last year, but we have a lot of meetings, and our purpose was the same: analyze, investigate, tries to not repeat the same mistakes that happens, try to give opportunities to some schools, to some students, just to see what changed, because the students tries a lot to make a difference and tries a lot to make better. Then we criticize, and then when we told to the schools what was wrong and how they can do better. So we have a lot of people here that work in a lot of areas. One of each this person work on education, on UNESCO. For example, me representing the journalism and the student, but we have people here from a lot of places in the world. Here it is in some years ago. This was a seminar in Caldas da Rainha. Not one of my first seminars, but as Victor said, and it's really important what Victor said, this was the kind of experiences that you have, really the impact of the experience that you, and the opportunity that you have to participate in these kind of activities, because you really learn how to do journalism, and most important, environment journalism. This was really one of the biggest experiences, because you have to work with a lot of persons with different views, different ideas, different knowledge, and you have to combine all of that. I have again the opportunity to, leadership some groups of the students. And what is mean leadership, this kind of activities? It means that you have to guide each student of your group. You have to see, analyze, the structure of his texts, the structure, the presentation, how they write the questions to do some interviews, who they want interview, how they think, interview them. And in my area in journalism, it's really important to do that. And I think this project changed a lot my life, and guides me to, okay, I want to be journalist. This project, I really can say that guides me on that. Here, I have another photo. This photo represents the work that we have each day. We work till afternoon, till the dinner. We science in the morning, and we really work hard here, but with happiness, as you can see, with happiness, and really around each other, just to to listen the best ideas that each one can give. This was in Viseu, one city, one of the Portuguese cities on the north of Portugal. Okay, I will finish as I want, because this was my first prize that I think gives me more credibility. For example, to analyze, to be jury member, for example. I received that prize in Viseu in that seminar, and this prize was just one that represents all the work, all the experience, and I have this prize was about an article that I did in my town, in my village, and about fishing, about a man that continues fishing, and he is old, but continues fishing, and just an interview, just a simple interview next my door, next where I live, and was really interesting, and well, finish in that way, with happiness and with experience. So this is really my presentation. I want to help another students, and I want to motivate another students to join that program, because I think it guides you in your life. And if you like journalism, and if you like to take some photos with different perspectives, if you like to write, if you like to do interviews, if you are interested in media, these projects can be or should be the first step in your career. This is my perspective.
Thank you, Filippa. Very good. And I think we couldn't close in any better way, because Filippa gave us great advice, and I really invite everyone who wants to start this career path then to get in touch with us. And if you have any question, I'm conscious of time, so there is no time for questions, unfortunately. Please get in touch with me, and then I will pass over to our panelists today all your questions. So thank you, Margarida, Barbara, Victor, Josh, Max, and Filippa for being with us today. It has been a great and fantastic webinar. Thanks, and bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.